Hey guys! So, first and foremost, I figured I would come on here and address the change you probably noticed that I changed my channel name. And this has been something that I have been mulling over for quite some time, trying to figure out exactly how I wanted to rebrand with the cast arm. Air quotes with the cast arm. It's just a whole nother level of. Anyway. How I wanted to essentially rebrand my channel and what name I wanted to identify as, and kind of where I wanted to go from there. When I first came back to YouTube in 2018, oh my gosh, this April it will be 2 years. That's crazy. Like, it does not feel like that. I mean, keep in mind, it's only November, almost December right now, but still, it's crazy to think about. But essentially, when I had come back to YouTube in spring of 2018, it had been about 9 years since I had last made videos. And when I last made videos, I was under the name Lady Lucy. And between that almost decade's time, that name just didn't really resonate with me anymore as I grew up and changed, and you know, kind of my path evolved with me as I grew. But I felt that I would keep the name for a while so that in case anyone who watched me previously would like to try and find me again, and you know, that I would just come back under that persona and just keep it as that for a while, and then as soon as I felt ready that I would take on a different name, take on a different I don't want to say persona or identity, because this is all authentic. It's just, you know, I don't resonate with that handle anymore. So I decided to change it last night. I just thought, all right, let's just go for it. And the other thing that I decided to do is I made a Instagram account that will be linked to this account. So I will have that as another form of social media that will be mostly all the same things that I discuss on here. I like Instagram as a platform. I am a photographer, so or I should say I am an amateur photographer. I'm a photographer by hobby, and I enjoy photography. I am not a professional photographer. I wish someday. But either way, I enjoy Instagram as a social media platform, and so I figured it would be a really fun, hello cat, a really fun way to dip my toes into introducing another form of social media into my YouTube channel. I don't know if I'll ever make a Facebook account linked to this. I used to have one back in the day, but as for it stands right now, don't really know if I want to do that. Every video. Every video. She's ignored me for like the last 2 hours, but no, mom's recording, so let's just get in her face. Hello. Also recently I noticed that I have received some new subs, so I just wanted to welcome you guys to my channel and welcome you also under my new name, which I am now going as the Shadow Moon Witch, which the reason why it's funny that I said witch twice. The reason why I went with that name is mostly one super nerdy thing right here. It is a place in World of Warcraft, Shadow Moon Valley. I am a huge World of Warcraft nerd. I met my husband on World of Warcraft. I have a huge thigh tattoo of 2 characters from World of Warcraft. It's a nerd thing. The other thing is that I really kind of wanted something to convey how deeply important it is to me and my practice that there is a duality between light and shadow, and how I want to really convey that into most of my workings, most of my messages that I project onto this channel, and bring about some more mental health awareness to my channel. I was really inspired by my last video, and I've been going through a lot of transition in my own personal mental health and my own personal self-love journey. And so I really want to bring that to this platform Not so much to share my experiences on a deep personal level, because some of it far too personal, but I still want to come to it with fresh eyes and a perspective that hopefully I can project to help others, to encourage them and to inspire people. Because I look at this and I think, if I died tomorrow and I inspired one person, then I did good. So I hope to inspire people throughout my life, and this is one of the reasons why I have this channel. Also, just to have that camaraderie, which was initially what brought me back to YouTube, and I found that. So now I'm sort of transforming into where I want to go next, and how I want to bring about my own personal spark and my authenticity. I can't talk tonight, guys. To this channel. So that's where I kind of came up with that name, and I thought, that works for me. That's kind of what I want to identify as. But for those of you, there's a cat fur in my mouth. I'm sorry. Really, Prue. It's your fault. I blame you. For those of you who don't want to call me by that little bit of a mouthful of a handle here on YouTube, you can please just call me by my first name, which is Dana. So with that being said, I just wanted to take a few minutes, probably longer than a few minutes to be honest, to kind of go into that topic, and then I'm going to kind of go into another topic on this video too, and it's all about transformation. It kind of all has the same theme, slightly different subjects, but same theme. I have been really trying as well, alongside everything I just mentioned, to embrace learning about my psychic abilities. And I know that I've mentioned this a little bit more and more on my channel. To be perfectly honest, I've been very apprehensive to discuss it, mostly because I didn't want it to be perceived as ego, and that can be something that is a very ugly side of being more open about psychic gifts. And I'm still trying to discover this for myself. I don't even so much necessarily like the word psychic gifts, because I don't really think it's a gift. I don't really think it's a talent. I think it's something that everybody possesses, and each one of us, it works differently. Some of us are more in tune than others, just as we are all good at something and not so great at another thing. It's just how we are. So I like to try and keep a very down-to-earth approach to it as much as I possibly can, because I think that also helps with my own authenticity. But the other thing that I have been trying to embrace is that over the last few years, whether I've liked it or not, I have been going through a spiritual awakening in a sense. And it basically, the crescendo of all of this was my mother's passing, and it was after her passing that I finally really started to accept my abilities as a medium. And all of the things that happened around my mother's death, all those experiences were so profound, it basically was to the point where the universe was screaming at me in the face, and I was like, I can't ignore this anymore. I can't ignore this about me, and I can't be afraid of it anymore. And then as soon as I opened that up, it was like floodgates of all these memories, all these synchronicities, all these things that connected to this ability finally came rushing in. And I had this realization of how long this has been going on and why certain things happened the way that they did as I was a child and growing up and coming into paganism. It was trying to understand my own mediumship abilities is what brought me to paganism. I first started reading Sylvia Browne, and then I kind of went from there, and I started to explore paganism as I found various books on Wicca, and then it transformed into paganism as I found that Wicca wasn't quite how I wanted to look at things. And since then, it's just been progressing and progressing and progressing, and I'm still at this point now where I wish that I did have someone to guide me a little bit more, someone who had more experience with this, someone who could even maybe validate the things that I'm experiencing, because I doubt still tremendously. And once I do, it's like I reset everything, and it's so infuriating. But it's like my default. It's like what I'm programmed to do, to doubt my experiences. And I think that's why they just kept getting stronger and stronger and stronger, to the point where, as I said, it's basically like the universe is just yelling at me, saying, you have to stop. You have to stop being afraid. You have to stop thinking that this is not legit, because it is legit, and what you're experiencing is something profound. And I think this happens a lot to a lot of people who have experience with mediumship. I think either they revert to a sense of darkness, in the sense of addiction or depression or anxiety, because they can't turn it off. They don't know what they're experiencing. They think that they're crazy, and they're told that they're crazy. Or they go to this default place where they think, well, I have to throw logic at it all the time, because that's what the world tells me to do. That's what I'm expected to do. That's what society expects me to do. And as I've gotten older, I've started to really understand my deep disdain for how most of society works. And I don't like to conform. Guys, I'm an Aquarius. We don't like that. We just don't like to conform. So, I don't know. I've just kind of wanted to ramble about it a little bit, and ramble about the metamorphosis I'm going through, and the deep changes that I've been experiencing over the last few years, and how I really do believe that tragedy brings about spiritual awakening in a lot of people. And I know I'm not the only person that's experienced this. And the thing is that once you experience something like loss or trauma, it kind of opens up all those doors that you thought you closed to the places that you don't necessarily want to go to, but you know that you should. And that's where the whole embracing our shadow has become deeply important to me, because I believe it is the only way I'm going to heal. And I think that there are a lot of people who feel the same. So that's basically my rant for tonight. There's a cat attached to my arm. She always likes to hook one claw. So just let me know how you guys feel in the comments below. If you've had any of these experiences, if you have any resources for me. I'm in the stage where I like to absorb a lot of knowledge. I like to hear other people's experiences with mediumship, kind of coming into your own, understanding your abilities, and basically all of that. I can elaborate a little bit more on chronologically kind of where this all started, how it came. If you guys want me to do a kind of my story video, I can certainly do that. I don't mind sharing those sorts of things. Perhaps it will help someone else. Maybe they'll see my experiences and think, hey, that's pretty similar to what I've gone through. I noticed that it's more comforting to me to see other people's experiences and see connections in the things that I have experienced. It's validating. So if you guys want me to do a video on that, I certainly can. I hope that the name change wasn't too confusing for you guys. I can be found on Instagram under the same handle. My cat's gonna jump down. And please give me a follow if you are an Instagrammer. I hope to be posting a lot of spiritual things on there. Tarot decks, card readings, altar stuff, spiritual musings, all that kind of stuff, to social media platform, especially if I can't sit down and make a video. So if you want to hear more from me, please follow me on Instagram at the Shadow Moon Witch. So that being said, happy Thanksgiving, because I'm filming this on Thanksgiving. Not really a big thing here today. My husband and I just had a quiet day with our sons by ourselves. First time that's ever happened. But we're gonna have a small Thanksgiving with his immediate family, and mine is out of state because I live here in Minnesota and I'm from Washington State. So I basically just have phone calls and stuff with my family, and yeah, I'm sure a lot of you guys know what that's like too. It can be hard, especially around the holidays, and especially when you're grieving. So let's see. I think that's all I needed to say on the topic and everything else. I'm sorry if I was a bit rambly tonight. I just had a lot in there that I kind of needed to get out and talk about, and also, share the change to my channel. So with that being said, I'm going to stop rambling now.